Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti. I am MrPhotographer.com. I thought some of you might find it interesting if I demonstrate how I create the thumbnails that I use for my videos. Now it's a multi-step process, but it's actually really very easy to do, and maybe it will teach you something you didn't know about Photoshop. Now typically what I'll do is I'll do my video first, whatever video I'm doing, and for the sake of argument and for the sake of this demonstration, let's just say that I did a video on how to process a black and white image in Lightroom. So we'll pretend that video's done. What I want to do now is create this thumbnail. So I'll have Lightroom open. I'll have it open to the image I used in the video. I have the black and white tab open because that pertains to the video. I created this video on processing a black and white image. So I have that open. And I'll just create a screenshot of this Lightroom being open to this image with the black and white mix tab open. Now on a Mac, to create a screenshot, Shift-Command-3. Now I'm not sure how to do it on a PC. I haven't used a PC in a long time. So those of you that do know how to do it on a PC, please in the comments below mention how it's done to create a screenshot so everyone else knows. Now, I created my screenshot. Now I'm going to close down Lightroom. I don't need it anymore, so I'm closing that down. My screenshot is right here on my desktop. I'm going to take it and open it up into Photoshop. And the first thing you need to do is you got to make sure that the screenshot is in the 16:9 ratio. That's because the thumbnails for videos should be in that ratio so they display properly on YouTube. Now, since I created my screenshot from an iMac, I know it's already in the 16:9 ratio, but if I did it from my MacBook, it won't be. And most often, if you create a screenshot from a laptop or a MacBook, it's not going to be in the 16:9 ratio. So what you need to do is just go to the crop tool, then go up here where it says ratio and make sure you're in that 16:9 ratio and then crop it accordingly. Now in this case, again, I don't have to do any of that because it's already in that ratio. Now, about maybe 2-3 years ago, I had a meeting with a representative from YouTube and they gave me some tips on how to grow my channel. And one of the things he mentioned was that thumbnails that have people in them get more views or they're more apt to get views if they have people in the thumbnails. That's what I'm trying to say. So no matter what type of video I do, I'll try to add a person to it, even if it's just this screenshot. Now I am an Adobe Stock subscriber. So because of that, Adobe Stock is integrated into Photoshop. It's under libraries. And if I pull this down here, you'll see there's a bunch of stock images. Now, if you're not an Adobe Stock subscriber, just find an image you like that you want to add to your thumbnail and open it up into Photoshop. If you are an Adobe Stock subscriber, you could go to Adobe Stock, stock.adobe.com or something like that, and purchase an image you like, and then open that image up into Photoshop. Now I'm going to find one. I want one that has a person like pointing at this black and white mix controls over here. And I have one right here. So I'm just going to double click on it and it opens it up into Photoshop as you see. But you can see how it's offset. I need to crop it first. So I'm going to go to the crop tool and I'm not going to use that 16:9 ratio here. I don't need to. I'm going to click clear. And then what I'll do is I'll pull this down and I'll pull it over. And I'll pull it over here, just like that. And I'll click the check mark at the top, and there's my crop. Now, she's pointing the wrong way. I need her pointing this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it horizontally. To do that, go up to Image, Image Rotation, Flip, Canvas, Horizontal. Now she's pointing the correct way. Now I need to make a selection. I need to select the model. I don't want the white background at all. To do that, go to any selection tool, hit the W key on your keyboard. The selection tools are in this little cubby right here. You have 3 of them. It doesn't matter which one you have. You could have any of them. Once you have a selection tool selected, go to the top and go to Select Subject. And when you do that, Photoshop will select the subject. Now, this works great as long as you have a solid screen, like I have a white background, right? Gray background, black background. This is where this works best. If you don't have that type of background, try to get a stock image that has that type of background because it'll just make everything a lot easier. So I have it selected. Now I'm going to select and mask right there. And I'm using a red background, like right here. I'm using the overlay V of red so that we could see where it's messed up. And I found that refine hair doesn't always work real well, so I usually don't even use it. In this case, it pretty much selected her well. It's just in here maybe a little bit, and her hair over in here. So what I'm doing is I have this second tool from the top, the Fine Edge Brush tool, and I'm just brushing on her hair where it's not selected as well. And I think that's pretty good right there. So that's a perfect selection. I'm going to go over to the right, and I'm going to output to a selection and click OK. So I have the selection now. Now I'm just going to duplicate layer 0. You can see over here we're layer 0. And because I have the selection, when I duplicate it, it only will duplicate the part that is selected. And to do that, the keyboard shortcut is Command-J on a Mac, Control-J on a PC. And I'll turn off that layer 0, and you can see we have a perfect selection now. She is clipped out from that white background. Now what I want to do is move her onto our screenshot. To do that, get the Move tool. V as in victory is the Move tool. It's top tool right here. Just click anywhere on her and just drag her up to that tab that's the screenshot and drop her on it. All right, now it's way too big. So what I want to do is shrink everything down, fit everything on screen better by hitting Command minus. It's Control minus on a PC. Then I'm going to go into free transform mode by hitting Command T, Control T on a PC. Now I have these handles, and I could shrink her down so she fits onto the screenshot better like that. And we'll move her over just a little bit. All right, so that's good. I'm going to click this check mark up here. I'm going to hit Command 0, Control 0 on a PC so that it now is fit to screen. All right, so she's pointing in that general direction where that black and white controls are. What I want to do is I want to make that bigger. So what I'm going to do is go to layer 1, that's the screenshot layer. Then I'm going to get the rectangular marquee tool. Hit the M key on your keyboard for the rectangular marquee tool. There's two tools there though, the elliptical and the rectangular. You want the rectangular for this. And then what I'll do is I'll just draw a box basically around that black and white mix control right there. So we now have a selection. Now remember, if we hit Command or Control J to duplicate that layer, it's only going to duplicate the selection. So I'll do that, hit Command J on my Mac, and you can see then if I turn off that bottom layer, I just have that there. But what we're on now, we're on that layer that contains just the black and white mix. So I'm on that layer. Now I'm going to go into free transform mode for that by hitting Command or Control T. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this bigger. Like that. All right. So that's bigger. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back up to our model. I'm going to go to the Move tool again, hit the V key, and I'm going to move her so she's pointing like that. All right. So we have that like that. Now, not all the time, but sometimes I'll add text to my image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add text now, or type as they call it in Photoshop. To go to the Type tool, hit the T key on your keyboard. Of course, it's over here on the left-hand side, that T. Now, I most often use Bodoni 72 small caps, the book, I guess they call it. That's just the font I prefer. And I'm just going to put it in the top left-hand corner of the screenshot. And I'm going to type in black. And then I'm going to hit the ampersand for and white. All right, just like that. And I'm going to click the little check mark. Now, if it was the wrong size, I would have to select everything here and then go up here and resize it. You could just go on like over the T, and you could drag to the right to make it larger, left make it smaller. It's called a scrubby slider if you need to use it. But I think that's good right there. Now I may move it around a little bit. I'll get the Move tool and I could move it maybe like right there. Okay, so that's so far so good. We're almost done. I need it to stand out a little more. I don't want it to be so flat. I want to add a little depth to the thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the type layer, that's where I wrote black and white, and the layer that contains the model. I'm going to hold the Command key down and select those so they're both selected together, Control key on a PC. And I'm going to go down here and put them in a folder together. So I'm clicking this little folder icon. Now they're in a group. All right. What I'm going to do now is add a drop shadow to everything there. Basically, everything in that folder will get a drop shadow. To do that, go to FX and then go to drop shadow. And you can see that it added a drop shadow. So it makes that black and white stand out a little more. Now you could try to move the lighting around or your shadow. Kind of liked it where it was. You could bring the distance out. So you could experiment with the shadow to try to make it work best for your image. You can make it a little darker maybe. That maybe. Whatever. So I put a shadow behind them, a drop shadow. So that just gives them a little more depth, right? I'm going to click OK. Now that black and white still isn't standing out enough for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up our little folder here. And I'm going to go right to that type layer, that black and white, where I wrote black and white. Make sure that's highlighted. And I'm going to add an effect just to that. So I'm going to go to FX. And then I'm going to go up to stroke. And you can see that stroke just makes it stand out a little more. I'm just going to keep the default settings. That looks good. And that's it. I'm done. So this is how I would create this thumbnail. Now I need to export this in the correct size for YouTube because my screenshot is way too large for YouTube. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Export, Export As. Then I'm going to do a JPEG 100% quality, and you can see it's 5120 by 2880. That's too large. What you want to do is make the width 1920, and then just click or hit the tab key, and it will automatically go to 1080. So it's 1920 by 1080, 16 by 9 ratio, and that's fine. That's what I want. So then I'm going to click Export, and when I do that, it will eventually come up and ask me where I want to save it. And in this case, I always save it to my desktop, but I don't keep that screenshot name. I change it to thumbnail, and then I'll save it to my desktop. So it does that. So now it's exporting this at the correct size. So I have the thumbnail done, but sometimes, well, probably all the time, I save then all my work. All this work I did in Photoshop. And what I'll do for that, I'll just go File, Save As. Now it's got the screenshot name. I don't want that screenshot name. What I'm going to do is make this box a little bigger by pulling down on the bottom. I just want to call it thumbnail. So it's thumbnail.psd, and I'll click Save. So it's saved. Now I'm just going to, I could close everything down. When I do that though, it's going to ask me if I want to save the work I did on this image. I never save it. Maybe you do. But what I do is on my Mac, I just hit Command Q to close everything down. And then it will say, do you want to save this one? And I don't save. It's not asking me on the other one because I already saved it as thumbnail.psd. So the screenshot I could get rid of. And now I have my thumbnail.jpg right here. And if I take a look at it, you can see there's the thumbnail. And that's what I would upload to YouTube along with my video. And it's as easy as that. So that's how I create thumbnails that I use for my videos on YouTube. Thank you, everyone that watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.